a girl with dreams so wide. The days turn heavy like an unseen rift. The girl that I was began to fade, and in her place a new self was made.
Okay. Welcome to Generation She, the space where we bridge the gap between the stages of womanhood. Whether you're a teenager navigating the first, a college student finding your footing, or a mother balancing it all, this shows this show is for you. We're here to talk about the things that change, the things that stay the same, and the wisdom we can only find when we listen to each other. From the classroom to the boardroom to the living room, we share our stories, our struggles, and our laughs because no matter what season of life you're in, you aren't walking through it alone. I'm your host, Melissa Otten, and this is Generation She. Today, Donnita Simmons is back again. She's my sister in law. Um, we're having kind of a conversation just about faith. We'll see where it takes us. Okay. The statement I'd started with is I think a lot of us imagine faith is something that should make us feel strong all the time. But lately, I've realized faith often looks more like continuing to show up while you're still healing, still learning, still overwhelmed, and still becoming. Now, how would you describe faith?
Okay, you put the question on me, but that's good. So faith to me is similar to trust. Not exactly the same. And I like to know, like, I know what faith is to me, but what do other people feel faith is? So I'm kind of putting the question back at you. What is your
Our
what is it?
listeners are welcome to comment.
Uh-huh.
We would love to read about anything. If you have questions by anything that we say today, feel free to comment. Um, my idea, really, of faith is probably along the same lines as you. But I mean, lately I've been reading a lot. I'm reading about David currently, and seeing how he always would give um his appreciation and would always give credit to God for everything. That is so hard.
Yes.
And I feel like that's part of the faith
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Um, he is him as in God is the one that gives you everything, and he is the reason for you being strong enough to get through things. And he's also the reason that you have the things you do because he has given it to you. But in reading those words and hearing like how David really did describe everything, it changes you.
Mhm. Okay, so you just picked my favorite person out of the Bible.
So far, he is mine. This, well, I mean, other than Jesus.
Of course, of course, of course, right. Because he's so real. I mean, his life, he did trust God. He did have faith.
Mhm.
And he also made mistakes.
He did.
And it's something like, oh, most of the people um in the word did make mistakes too.
Mhm.
But going back to faith, um, I think about the example of we all have faith in something. We have faith in our chairs we're sitting in. We have faith that they're not going to fall apart when we sit in them, right?
Mhm.
So
Faith, my car is going to start in the morning.
that takes faith sometimes. So what do we have faith in? Because when we say faith,
Mhm.
yes, someone can have faith, but what is that faith in?
I find myself that I want to have faith in God, but sometimes I find that I'm having faith in money,
Oh, definitely.
you know?
Yes.
I see money as stability,
Right.
but I have to understand that if I have faith in the Lord will, supply the money I
Yes.
need.
Yes.
So for me, there's been times, people say you don't see it. I've had somebody tell me they've never seen a miracle in their entire life, and I'm like, I'm very sad for you,
Definitely.
because I see miracles almost every day.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you have to open your eyes and open your mind.
So are you saying faith? Some people think faith is a miracle.
I think that some people think that they don't have faith unless they can see it, touch it, smell it,
Well,
feel it.
wouldn't that be the opposite of faith? Because
That would be the opposite of faith
because
to
you
me as
can't
well.
see those things.
Well, no, but we could point out some things for you to have faith that, yes, these things happened.
Yes.
Like, you have to open your mind to it. Like, I have faith that God will get me through tomorrow. And tomorrow I will pray. I will pray for my kids. I will pray for my husband. I will pray for all my family. I'll pray for myself. And then I have faith that those prayers will be heard.
How do you know God will do it if when you pray? What
I don't.
gives you
Sometimes
that?
he doesn't do it,
Okay.
you know?
So faith for me is a relationship. Even with people, like you have faith in a person
Yeah.
because over time and the relationship you built with them, you can trust that they're going to do what they say. Or even if it's a negative relationship, you know the actions of this kind of person, so you know not to.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
put that responsibility on them.
Right.
There's a few people I know
Right.
I don't ask for certain things
'Cause
because I know it's not gonna happen.
because of the relationship.
Sometimes it's the season they're in.
Yeah, but overall, there's people that you know you can trust for certain things
Yeah,
and not. But it's based on that relationship and how much you know them.
yeah.
So for me, it's the same with my relationship with Christ.
Mhm.
At first, I didn't have a lot of faith in him because I didn't have a relationship with him.
I agree.
And then as I get to know him more
Mhm.
and my experiences with him, and I can then start trusting in his word.
The other thing that I think that a lot of people are missing, and I think I was missing for a long time, was you can't get to know him without reading his words.
Exactly. That's him
How
talking
are
to
you
you.
gonna know who he is without listening to what he had to say?
Yes, yes, yes. So the scriptures, faith comes by hearing,
Yeah,
and hearing by the word of God.
yeah.
And that's building that relationship.
Um, I I've read the Bible
Hmm.
in pieces, and I'm gonna tell you, I like that I've been doing it in chronological order now.
Yes, yeah,
It makes entirely more sense,
it does.
and you get more out of what you're reading because now you understand the circumstances in which it was written around
Right,
and the story and how it went in order.
right.
And so I would um, ask the listeners out there to find yourself some kind of way to do this. Now, I'm an auditory learner, so I do have the Bible app,
Yep.
which you can press the auditory button
Yeah,
and read along. Um, that's how I learn best.
yes.
So just so you guys know, I am not backed by anybody. Nobody gives me money. I do like the Bible app.
Yes.
I also like what's it called? Let me look it up. What's the actual thing that I'm using right now? I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Podcast?
No, no, that's what we're doing right now. No, the Bible recap.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
doing it through the Bible recap.
oh,
And I
that's
suggest
fantastic.
it to everybody because there's videos on YouTube.
Yes.
And when you're done, if there was something in there that you were like, "I just did not get that at all,"
Yes.
you can go back and they kind of recap it for you. That's why it's called the Bible recap.
Yes.
So you do the scripture
Mhm.
and you think about it, and then you go back and you listen to what they have to say. Now, you don't have to agree with what they have to say,
Right, but that's a
but it
good
is nice.
resources.
It kind of
Mhm.
clarifies things. Um, I'm enjoying that one right now.
Yes.
Um, I think it's the easiest one I've ever had.
Yes.
to understand.
And going through the Bible, um, I think, I mean, of course, that's how we build our relationship with Jesus and find out what God says. And we're coming to find out that through his word, how faithful he is.
Yeah.
He is faithful. Everything he does, I mean, what he says is going to happen. So, and even with the commandments, the statements, the 10 statements, it tells us like if we do these things, there will be these consequences which are good.
Yeah.
If we don't, there's going to be not good consequences. And he doesn't stray from that. I mean, he gives us grace, he gives us mercy, but he sticks to his word and he is trustworthy.
Yes. And then you do learn that if you ask for forgiveness and you really do mean it and don't continue to do the same
Right.
things,
Rebellion.
yes,
Yes.
you will be forgiven.
You
You have
forget,
to,
yeah, the first
um,
time.
yeah. But if you continually go back and do it again and again, and I mean,
He'll still forgive you when
he'll
you
forgive
ask.
you, but
Mhm.
it's gonna take a while.
Right. And we're still going to have consequences for our actions. So just like David, he was afraid of God. He was after God's heart. He followed God. He was a prophet. All those things he did. He trusted in God. He had a relationship with God from growing up.
Yeah.
Just when he was with Goliath, like, hey, I dealt with bears and lions and all that. Okay.
But it wasn't even like I did this. It was always
Yeah.
God gave me the strength to do
Right.
this.
Exactly.
And that was the thing that was amazing to me because you don't hear that a lot
Yeah.
today.
Yes.
Today it was, I did this,
No. No.
I'm the one who made this happen. And you're like, no, did you?
There's some kings and other people in the Bible that
Yes,
had those same thoughts.
they did.
Yeah. And even with David going through that when he sinned, when he was with Bathsheba, he he still had to go through the consequences.
Yeah.
Of that. But that didn't change his relationship with God. Well, it probably made it stronger, but God still loved him.
Mhm. Now, when we go through things that are hard,
Mm.
some people will stray away
Right.
and some people will come and be closer to the Lord.
Right.
So, those that stray away, do you think it's like bitterness for the situation that they blame God? I guess we can't really speak to it because we're not.
Well, we don't know situation, but a lot of times it's because maybe they don't really know who God is. And I see a lot of people that might have trust or faith in a person, in a pastor, in some leadership man or woman, a person, instead of in God. And God's never going to turn us down. And we have to think about it's not always like there's sin in the world. We have to understand what sin is. And then there's things we do. I can't like take all my money and go spend it on crazy things. And then like, God, why didn't you answer my prayer that,
Why
I'm
did you
debt
give me
free?
more money for that?
Exactly.
Please?
That was all on me, right?
Yeah. I mean, and like I said to Danielle before, God gives you the things you need.
Mm.
It's just sometimes people don't use the things that they have.
Yeah. I mean, and he's not a genie
No,
either. So
he's
it's
not giving us wishes.
yes, even if it's something we need,
But
we might
like
think we need.
with her anxiety and things, I said, he's giving us what we need to figure this out.
Exactly.
We just have to try to open our eyes and find it.
Yes.
And I feel like we may have recently figured out one of the biggest pieces of the problem.
Yeah.
And I did it through research, not through the doctor, because they had changed a lab result to lower as a normal thing now. And so I found out that, yeah, you can be within those things if you feel fine, that's okay. But that's not actually the optimal level for a person.
Oh.
And so her doctor said she was fine. Her labs said she was fine, but she didn't feel fine. And
Like it was
so
on the border.
it was on the border, but it was still within normal limits.
Mhm.
And they wouldn't have done anything about it had I not did a mom fit
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
doctor's office and
Yeah.
said, well, listen, she's having symptoms.
Right.
And so we know she's having symptoms and it sounds like this. And we can see right there that that level is almost on the low end. How about we treat it and see how it goes?
Yes.
And they did. And it's just
Better.
she's a lot better.
Yes.
So,
So,
and I think that that was me having faith in God that He showed me this,
Mhm.
and I didn't back down because I was pretty positive that this was what it was,
yeah.
and if I was wrong, it wouldn't have hurt her.
Right.
So I was like, well, let's. I mean, it won't hurt her if we give her more.
Right.
So
I
let's
agree.
do it.
Yeah. And it's those things. I'm glad you recognize that because he does. I mean, he gave us people that are in their field to do the medical things.
Yeah.
So if it was up to me, everybody be well, not well, because I'm not. That's not my field of study. That's not what I'm interested in. But he gives you that and favor and the resources you need
Mhm.
to come out of it. But how did you have faith, quotes, air quotes,
Yeah.
how did you have faith to trust him?
That's the thing. So I think that a lot of that comes from growing up and being taught these things. That some people come to God later in life. So they
Well,
have to
taught
learn to
what?
do that.
Taught what?
Like I was taught since I was a little kid that, the Lord is there, the Lord is walking with you, the Lord is showing you, the Lord is always by you. And there were times in my life that I would deny him completely.
Right.
And in looking back at those times, I know he was there because things happened and I was definitely saved from death more than once in my life.
Okay.
But I wouldn't recognize him back then. And I would do all the things that you're not supposed to do and break all the rules that I broke.
Right.
Not all of them. I mean, not all of them. Not the bad ones.
Mom, if you're listening, not all things.
Not all of them. But, I definitely have talked about people behind their back. I think most people have broke that one.
Right.
Now I would not do that. And when somebody does try to do that in front of me, I do, um, what exactly is it? I don't call them out on it exactly, but I will redirect to a different conversation
Yes.
because it's not, I'm not going to be a part of that.
Yes.
But, and I think everybody should learn that little move.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Action. Oh, look at
I'm not
this.
trying to judge you. I'm not here to judge you. I just don't want to be part of that.
Right.
So I'll redirect to be like, oh, did you see that there was a plane crash?
Right. The weather's
somewhere
really
else?
nice right
Oh
now.
my gosh, it's almost 90. So
Right.
I mean, I change it. Um, and I think that's a good thing now, but back in my 20s before you get kids to really learn, like you think you know everything.
Of course.
All you 20-year-olds out there, bless your heart.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Because there's nothing I can say to change your mind because you're going to think you know everything because
Yes.
I did too.
Yes.
But now that I'm 20 years older,
Yes.
I know now that I don't know everything.
Right. And how much do you not know?
Exactly. And it's so much. It's so much.
Yes.
And so now I'm trying to fill my well
Mm-hmm.
with things that I think, at this point, because remember, I don't know everything. Hopefully, I fill it up with the right stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but had I not grown up in the church, I wouldn't know to go back to the church.
Do you think that
Or
makes it?
maybe I would have found it.
Yeah. Or was it? Do you think it's easier to have grown up in And that whole thing,
Yes.
religion.
I do, but I don't know what it's like to be the other way. I couldn't give you a realistic understanding
Mhm.
of not growing up in the church because I've been in Sunday school since I was born, you know?
Well, and that what's that really mean? Because there's people that have been in church their whole life,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's no you wouldn't know it.
Yeah. It, but that's the thing. I feel like it's like I told you before, like I feel like I've gotten into a stage in life where I'm trying to learn and grow.
Mm, well,
So if you become stagnant and you don't want to learn and grow,
yes.
then you're going to stay doing the same things over and over and over again.
Right, right.
Now, I can't like pinpoint what happened when it changed.
Mm,
Like from 20 to 30s. I mean, I imagine it was like I think it was Levi.
mm. When something happens in your life that you have no other person, nothing you can count on, you're just there, you're in a pure surrender state. And the only thing you have is you could call on Jesus.
Yeah,
That does it a lot.
it did. When I was having him, we didn't know each other back then. Um, I had a gallbladder attack. That's what had happened. They they took me from my work, which I wanna tell you was awful. Just anybody out there with gallbladder issues, I pray for you. Um, it was horrible. Was pregnant, so I was sick, and then because I was sick, I peed my pants.
Mm,
So now I've peed my pants, I've got other things all over me,
mhm.
and I've got this horrible pain, and I can't stop, and I was just like, "I don't know what to do." They're like, "Are you in labor?" I was like, "No, I'm definitely not in labor."
How many months were you?
I was 8 months and 2 weeks,
Okay.
or 1 week. I didn't get that. 8 months, 1 week. So his due date was July 30th, and he was born July 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in, ambulance came and got me. Somebody let me borrow their pants because I wasn't
Yes. Needed a new
I
pair.
needed a new pair. I was like, "Throw these away. Give me yours. Thank you so much." And, so I went, and they couldn't do anything. They don't do anything for you in the ambulance but look at you
Mm.
when you're pregnant. They're like, "Well, we can't really give you anything
Oh,
else. We just monitor you."
oh, okay.
Like, "Oh, unless you, like, need life-saving things, we're just gonna stare at you, basically." I was like, "Oh, good times."
Okay.
So, I got the whole way to the hospital, got there, got my OB. He comes in. This is like we're into, like, 2 hours, straight pain, somebody's stabbing me in the back.
Mm.
I can't get comfortable. I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. And, he's like, "Well, I don't know what it is. We're not sure. It's definitely not labor." I was like, "Yeah, I told you guys it's not labor. Don't know what this is."
Mm-hmm.
And so I had ranch dressing that day. Don't eat ranch dressing if you have gallbladder problems.
Okay.
This is high oil content in
Okay.
it.
I was like, where is this? Okay.
Too much grease.
Okay.
And I had taco salad, so grease from the meat,
Mm.
grease from the from
Okay.
that. It was not good. I didn't know I had gallbladder problems.
Oh,
This first pregnancy, I was by myself. I didn't have a significant other.
yeah.
I was sick the entire time from morning till night, all 8 months and 2 weeks. So I didn't know nothing was wrong. I asked the doctor about it. They said I was fine. I didn't gain any weight. They said I was fine.
Yes.
I was like, okay. So I get there. They finally figure it out. They're like, I think it's your gallbladder. They do a scan. Doctor told me, I don't know why you're in pain. It doesn't look like it looks inflamed, but
Yeah.
the stones aren't in the duct.
Okay.
And I about killed him, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was hormonal once,
Right.
and I've already been in pain this long.
Right. Right.
They gave me morphine. It's the worst thing in the world.
So
And
now you're high. Okay.
I was just high. Yeah, it doesn't help
Mhm.
your pain. You're just high. So you're high, you're in pain. People's telling you you're not supposed to be in pain.
Right.
Good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they finally figure it out and they're like, well, we don't take out gallbladders while people are pregnant unless it's an emergency, and we don't find this to be an emergency. And I was like, okay. So they monitored me and keep giving me stuff because I'm Okay, you guys, I'm vomiting the entire time. I can't hold anything down.
Yes.
So I'm in pain, can't hold anything down. They're giving me meds for both the pain and the not being able to hold anything down, and they're doing it every 20 minutes.
Mhm.
I would fall asleep for 5 minutes when they would give me both at the same time
Okay.
and then be back awake, writhing in pain, 3 days straight. Finally, on the fourth day, they said, "Good news, we're going to induce you."
Uh-huh.
And I went, "No," and started hysterically losing it. Just so you guys know, I can't, if I don't sleep, I'm already a hot mess.
Well,
Like,
that's all of us.
but I'm like emotional. Like, if you're like my pen, like if I broke my pencil, I would have probably broke down in hysterical tears. And
Yes.
now you're telling me I have to push a baby out me.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "You're insane. I haven't slept in 3 days.
Yeah.
I haven't slept in 3 days, lady.
Was
Are
that
you crazy?"
wait, that might have been the last time you actually slept since then, like, before then,
Oh,
huh?
maybe. But I was like, "You guys are nuts." My mom, uh, so God put my mom in my life for a reason. I
Yes,
know
yes.
that,
Thank
that
you,
he did.
moms.
She calls me down. She gives me a pep talk. She says, "You can do this. You have the strength. I know you do. You have it." And I'm like, "I don't have the strength. I think these people have lost their minds."
Yeah. Yeah.
So she gets me through it. She talks me up. I get
She had faith in you.
together. She
Yeah.
had faith in me, and I did not have faith in anything at this point.
Yes, yes.
And so they finally start the Pitocin, and I get dilated to the point where they could give me the epidural.
Yes.
Best thing of my whole life. That epidural went, and the gallbladder pain went away.
Oh.
It was the best. Everything went away. I went to sleep. They woke me up to let me know that it was almost time to push.
Wow.
I was like, "What?"
Oh, yes.
And then they turned the epidural off and didn't tell me.
Oh.
And then I was like, why isn't the button working? They're like, "Oh, honey, to turn that off so you can feel the contractions."
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
well, that stinks.
Mm.
Thanks. So he was what they call city side up. So he was pointed the wrong way.
Yeah.
So he was head down, but sunny side up. And every contraction, his poor little neck would almost break. His eyeball was going into some bone. By the time I pushed for I don't even know how long, the doctors did shift change.
Yes.
The doctor was like, "This is the end of my shift." I don't even know what the doctor's name was.
Right.
I had nicknames for them because I couldn't remember their name. But he was like, he's like, "Do you care if we do shift change in the middle of you pushing?" And I was like,
Okay.
I don't, if
Right.
you get this, if the next person gets the baby out,
Right. I'm okay with
I'm
that.
okay with that. Like, get bye. So they switched, and I had a man first, and then I had her.
Mhm.
She came in, a lady, and she was watching, and his heart rate was decelerating with
Aw.
every contraction because the poor kid's neck is being broken,
Mm.
basically. Um, I pushed so much. His head would come out, his little
Yeah.
head,
Go
you
back
could
in.
see it, and then it'd go right back out.
Oh.
And they started trying to like flip him,
Uh-huh.
and that wasn't happening. And finally, she goes, "I can let you go, like maybe 20 more minutes, and then I'm gonna make you go get an emergency C-section,
Okay. Yeah.
where we could just go now." And I said, "Now's good,"
Yeah.
because I had
Yes.
already pushed for hours. Like I was over this, and they kept going, "One more push, one more push." And he
Yes.
was not big.
Yeah.
He was tiny,
But
and
he
I
wasn't
could.
ready to leave.
He didn't. Well, he shouldn't have for 2 more weeks.
Right.
He was like, "I don't know why you guys are evicting me now."
Right. Right. Right.
So they take me back. They get him out, and after that, I felt, oh my gosh, it was. They tried to let me hold him. I don't know why, because my arms I couldn't even feel them. I was like, "Don't let me hold him." Or you
Oh,
guys
you're just weak.
like I couldn't. No, from all the anesthesia, I couldn't. I had no strength. I was like, "Oh, nice, like oh, beautiful. Now take him back
Yes.
before I drop him." Um,
But he's your miracle.
He was my miracle. He came out, but he was supposed to have lung problems. He was supposed to go to the NICU,
Wow.
It was supposed to be a whole ordeal,
And
and he came out, he could breathe on his own, and he didn't have to
right.
go to the NICU, and I took
Yeah.
him home 3 days after that.
Mm, mm,
He went home when I went home.
that is outstanding. 'Cause, like, look at God.
God did that.
And I'm sure you could think of hundreds, thousands of things where God, maybe not that big that you
No.
remember.
No, I remember the big ones, but there's little things too.
Yes.
Like, one time I was supposed to leave for Pennsylvania,
Mm,
and I went to get gas first, and I stopped at the gas station, and when I stopped at the gas station, put the gas in the car, got back in the car and turned the ignition, nothing happened.
mhm.
And I was like, "What's going on?" The alternator went out in the van,
Yes.
and I was supposed to drive 4 hours to Pennsylvania,
Mm.
and that could have happened
On your
anywhere
way.
along the line.
Yes. Yes.
And instead, it happened at the beginning of the trip.
Yes.
And then a mechanic that was working down the street where there's a master mechanic stopped and helped me,
Mm,
called his boss. His boss came down, got my van running just enough that I could get it home.
mm.
So you can't tell me that wasn't some kind of
Right.
intervention because
Right.
the right people were at the right place at the right time.
His
And
fa-
I did it at the perfect timing.
yes, his favor.
Yeah.
That's grace.
It
That's
is.
grace.
It had to be. And so, and for people to always tell me that they don't see God in their life, I think, how could you not see God in your
You're
life?
still alive. You're still breathing. Everything is pointing. Look at the world, the trees. I mean, everything
I,
speaks of his goodness.
I love watching the flowers come out.
Oh,
Like this spring. So I've been taking the dog. That's one of my things. I started taking the dog for walks,
yes.
and he lets me know when I haven't done it yet. So I have been walking since winter
Mhm.
with this dog to our park. And, it's
Yes.
not
Yes.
far.
Hmm.
So we walk down and we do the loop and we come back.
Yes.
And I've watched the seasons change from winter to spring so far.
Hmm.
And I can't wait to watch spring. Well, now we're going spring to summer
Yeah.
and then summer to fall. And
Mhm.
I can't wait to watch it all
Yeah.
because it's been amazing, like seeing all the flowers that come out. And I told Dan the other day, I was like, oh, the white ones are new, and these yellow ones are new, and these
Yeah.
purple ones are new. He's just looking at me like I'm insane. But I'm like, no, I've been watching this whole season. I've been watching what God has done for the season.
Yeah.
So it's just been amazing to watch it go from the cold, the snow, the
Yeah.
mud, to the beautiful grass turned green and the leaves started coming on and then you just watched everything and it happens fast.
Yes.
And if you don't pay attention to it, you don't see it. And so I don't know. I've just really like that. I don't know if any of you ever take the time to really pay attention to when the seasons change and what actually changes, but it is kind of amazing.
Everything, yeah, and, there's, like, 10 scriptures that went through my mind as you were saying that, like, he is so awesome, and he cares about us so much, like, he cares about those flowers that you saw,
Mhm.
but he cares about us even more than that. I mean, like, if he dresses that, think about how he feels about us.
Yes.
He loves us so much.
And and I've always said, like, you can always tell when somebody has God in their life,
Mm,
they have kind of like a glow about
mm.
them or there's a feeling about that person. Sometimes I don't feel like mine shines as
Oh, it
bright, you
does.
know,
Yeah.
but from my own perspective, I'm
Mhm,
sure
mhm.
it
And
does.
and then we have days where
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
days.
It's more of a struggle some days. I can't. Yes, I can because when I thought I was doing okay, I really didn't have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
I knew him. I mean, I've known him my whole life, but I didn't have that relationship. I didn't really have he wasn't Lord over my life.
No.
He was just like a jack in a box or a genie or a ritual, a religion. It
Yeah.
wasn't a relationship.
It wasn't a relationship. No.
And so during those times, I was hopeless.
Yes.
I was hopeless. And I did not want, yeah, there's times I didn't want to live, but because of what I learned in church or whatever, I didn't want to go to hell,
No.
but I didn't want to live. I wish there was some middle ground or something, something else. But so I think about what it was like before I had a relationship with him, and it was miserable and it was hopeless and it was dreadful. And now that I do have a relationship with him, I have hope. And even when things are at their worst,
Yeah,
I still know there's hope.
and I said, so me and Danielle talked about this the other day. It was just something random we were talking about. I said, sometimes when things feel like they're the worst
Mm,
and you get through to the other side,
mm,
you realize the reason why it all happened. There was for something
yes.
to show you
Yeah.
something,
That
for you to
breakthrough.
learn something, for
Exactly.
you to, and it makes you better in the end,
Yes.
even if it's just
Yes.
because it made you
Yes.
stronger.
Yes.
I
Perseverance.
I prayed for I don't know how many years that I could quit smoking. It was one of the worst things that I could not get rid of. I tried and I would fail. I would throw away a whole pack of cigarettes and in
Mm,
45 minutes, I'd
yeah.
start wanting one and then 3 hours would go by and I'd really, really want one. And I get the whole way to like 12 hours and I just about ready to chew my arm off because I wanted one so bad. And I was like, I can't get this off of me, God. Like, you have to help me. I can't
Mm,
do it on my own. And so I got so freaking sick. And
mm.
I thought I had COVID. I didn't have COVID. I lost my sense of smell, my sense of taste, all of it. I had 3 different COVID tests because everybody thought it was COVID. It was
Yeah.
not. Then they were like, "You have pneumonia. Here's some medicine. If it gets worse, go to the hospital. You'll get better." And like 7 days of this, I literally couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. I was so sick.
Mm,
When the doctor said, "Are you smoking?" I thought, "Have you lost your mind? And what have you been smoking?"
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
no. I tried to laugh and I coughed out a lung. I was like,
Mhm,
"No, sir."
mhm, mhm.
I couldn't even imagine trying to at
Yeah.
this point. And so when that 7 days was
Mm,
done, I had 1 cigarette left in my pack of cigarettes, and I was finally feeling better, and I walked outside, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I lit that thing up. And I lit it up, and I took 2 puffs off of it and was like, "Oh my god, this is
yes. Yes.
disgusting."
Yes.
And I threw it down, and I have never smoked another cigarette
Yes.
since.
Yes. Yes.
And that was God. That
Yes,
was
it
God
was.
answering a prayer. Unfortunately, I had to go through a horrible illness
Right.
to
Right.
get there.
Right.
But I said that was a horrible thing that happened. I felt awful. I thought I was gonna die numerous times.
Mhm.
And in the end, I can't drink Mountain Dew anymore because I think it tastes like gross, disgusting pea water or something. And I
You know
can't
why I'm over here smiling and just laughing? Because I was there. I saw that.
You
Like,
saw me
what do you
drink
mean?
I drank like 2 liters of Mountain Dew a day and
Yes.
smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day, the very most
Mm,
unhealthiest thing you could do.
yes.
And all of a sudden, I can't do it anymore
Mm,
because I find it disgusting.
yes.
I'm repulsed. And I was like, this was finally like, this was it. I
Wow.
was like, well, that had to be
See,
divine intervention.
he has a purpose for you.
He has to.
Uh, he has a purpose for you. And because all those things is where the enemy was trying to take you out.
Yeah.
And you're here. You're here for a purpose. I mean, and our purpose changes throughout time, but it's definitely because you should have been a goner many times.
So many times. Would I tell the story? So me and my brother both were ran over by vehicles when
Yes.
we were kids. No, we weren't like small kids. We were teenagers and dumb.
Mhm. Yes, yes.
I got ran over by a Buick LeSabre.
Oh, yeah. Is that you were sitting on the hood
I was sitting on the
or the
back,
car? Yeah.
actually. I was sitting on the trunk, and the person that was driving it looked straight at me, got in the car, and thought it would be funny to drive away because other people were there too. And he thought it would be funny if they thought that he was leaving them.
Yes. Yeah.
And
We do
he
such
went
things.
down the road and then threw it in reverse. And when he put it into reverse, I slid off the back and he hit the gas and I ran behind the car. Somehow, some way, I ran behind the car. I was screaming. And the people that were the ones that he was playing the joke on were, watching it all happen. And so I'm screaming and they're screaming, and he thinks that they're
Like cheering or like,
thinking like it's a joke. Yeah.
uh-huh.
And so I couldn't run fast enough, because it's a car. And I got sucked underneath and I hit my face off the gravel road. I have scars on my lip and on my nose from it. And on my hands.
Yes.
And, I got sucked up underneath. Well, that morning I had gotten a Carhartt coat that I'd asked for Christmas, and if anybody knows what that
Yes.
is,
Yeah.
it's a very durable coat,
Yes.
like workers that are outside all the time wear it.
Right. Right.
And so I got sucked up underneath there, and so I didn't get burnt by the exhaust because the coat took the
Yes.
burning. And, he stopped because the shoes I was wearing, which were kinda loose on me and untied easily all the time, I had to retie them. Luckily, they untied and got caught up in the wheel well, and I got them off before it broke my ankle,
Mm,
and it flew out. He saw the
mm,
shoe, and he stopped.
uh,
They had to pull it forward to pull me up out, and the only thing that I had was a spot on my nose that had to have stitches, and I didn't
mhm.
break anything, I didn't have any internal bleeding, I probably had a concussion because I hit the ground, but
Yes.
other than that, I was fine. I actually took a shower,
It was
waited
to go.
waited to go to the emergency room for, like, a couple hours.
How can you like there's so many times I really just like that. I should be dead.
Yeah.
I should be dead. And I just like, wow, God, you really yeah, I'm so sorry I was being stupid. But thank you for your grace, your mercy, and your protection.
You shouldn't do any of those things with
Right.
kids
We're
out there.
we're
You
not
don't do
advocating
that.
that happen, but don't be
Don't
that
do
crazy.
stupid stuff like
Yes.
we did.
Don't.
And it's not funny if somebody's sitting on the car to start moving it. I'm just
Right.
telling you
Right.
that's not a fun
learn.
thing.
Let's learn.
But yeah, I've always been a little jumpy around cars after that.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so I had a hard time during Gabe's cancer.
Mm. Yeah, let's talk about that.
I
What
prayed.
what was hard time with what?
I didn't want to deal with anybody at all.
Right.
Like I
It's
just
already
didn't.
hard enough.
Um, I was very thankful for support. I don't want to tell anybody out there that I didn't love
Right.
you for helping me and doing things, but like I struggled with being kind to others
Oh
at
yeah.
that point.
That's understandable.
And um I prayed for Gabe, but I needed to be praying for me sometimes.
Yeah, that's hard though, because I'm gonna get this wrong because I can't remember who, but it's New Testament. They were in prison. Other people were praying for them. I think it's Peter. They were praying for them in prison. Sometimes we're in a situation where we may not have that strength to pray for ourselves.
Yeah.
Of course, we should always be prayed up, but there are times where the burden and the tragedy or whatever is so hard. It's hard for us to keep ourselves encouraged,
Yeah.
and that's when you do need that prayer support system from people. So don't feel bad about it. That's what I'm saying.
No. But it's just a time that I keep looking back and I think, I just didn't have any energy for anybody else.
Right. Right.
And I know I hurt some people's feelings during that time. And
Uh,
I was like, please don't. I mean, you have to understand, I didn't have enough energy for myself.
right. Right.
So I didn't have enough energy for anybody else
Right.
either.
And when people love you, they know who you are, right?
Yeah.
I keep talking about relationships, right? So I know let's just take us from our relationship, I know your character, right?
Yeah.
So if at any time you offended me or I took offense to something or you might do something, I should love you enough to know this is not normal.
No. Yeah.
So why should I be offended from it?
Yeah.
It's just something's going on. We all have bad times, right?
Yes.
And keep moving. I mean, that's the opportunity to pray for that person or try to encourage them till they get through it.
Yes. And I know that I'm sometimes sensitive to people.
Mm.
Like I grew up like that. I have a sensitivity. Like I don't take some jokes. I think that's why I
Mm.
understand Danielle
Oh,
because
yeah.
she also has that sensitivity. I don't take jokes well all the time, depending on what they are and who they're coming from. No,
Right.
if you're somebody that jokes with me and that's fine.
Right.
I'm fine with that. Danielle doesn't always get that part. I'm like,
Yes.
"No, those are the people that are just joking. That's not
Yeah.
not funny."
Hmm.
I'm like, but I always had trouble with certain people because it was like a tone that they would use or
Yeah.
something, and I would read that as that wasn't a joke, that was for real.
Yeah. Sometimes it is. It
It
is.
is.
Is yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, maybe all you people out there that do that little thing where you're joking, but you're really being serious,
Right.
just so you know,
Mhm.
people actually know.
Yes.
You're not being funny.
Right.
But that's just like those little things like that, and I feel like I have done that too, and then I feel bad about it.
Mhm.
Have to think about it. But, anyways, but no, I have faith that he is really leading me somewhere, and I have faith that he saved me so many times I can't even room and something fell down where my head
Exactly.
was, you know?
Right.
There's times and he's leading me and, he's showing me, and I have that faith.
Right.
And it is kinda like trust, like, I'm letting somebody lead me blindly somewhere,
Yeah.
and so
But not is it I don't think it's blind. There might be times when
I
it
feel like
feels
sometimes
blind.
it's blind,
Yes.
and sometimes it's not. I
Right.
feel like I know where I'm going, but I also feel like today, I feel like when I know that I've made a plan,
Mm.
and this is gonna work because this is how my plan is. And something always happens where that plan gets thrown off course completely, and I have to pivot and reevaluate the plan and have to change some things.
Right.
Um, I feel like that's his way of moving me in the direction I need to go.
It
I
could
don't know.
be. It could just be the way things happen. And it also says that he works all things out for the good of those who are in Christ Jesus and called according to his purpose. I think that's it. I should really have my scriptures available. But um, there are times we can make a plan.
Yeah.
And because of the circumstances, because of sin in the world, because all the things going on, our plans don't go the way we are. But he can make good out of that.
Yeah.
Out of every tragedy, he can make good out of that. I mean, you've talked about the bad things that are happening,
Mhm.
but there's good that comes out of it.
Yes.
Would everything that's happened in my life because of my own poor choices or because of someone else's choices, these tragedies happen, but I could still think back on, wow, this came out of it good.
Um, I think, sometimes all those poor choices that I made with, like, eating and then starving myself and then
Mhm.
not exercising and then smoking like a chimney and
Mm.
then and I'm, like, still waiting for the 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 shoe to drop.
Oh.
I was like, I've changed almost all of those things,
Mhm,
you know?
mhm.
And I was like, so I've changed all of these things, but will there still be a consequence eventually? You don't know.
And you may have already gone through the consequence, and
That's true.
he doesn't need us to stay in our consequences either. And then he gave you resources to be able to overcome those things.
Yeah.
So the ability to know, like, oh, I can't eat these foods, and this is what's been causing this problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his grace right there. Like, hey, now you have the opportunity to become healthier.
I am amazed by how bad I struggled to lose weight. And then over the last couple weeks, I've been like starving.
Mm,
So I'm like,
mm.
I'm so hungry, so I should eat.
Yes,
I need to eat more.
right.
And I did. I did need to eat more. I was like kind of figuring out calories and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I do actually need to throw another meal in there. And
Hmm.
I've been struggling to like get more food in. And so the last couple weeks, I've been eating more than I would have but I'm way more active. I was way
Yes.
more active those
Mhm.
weeks. And so I was like, this is crazy how much food I'm eating. I can't believe it. I was like, oh, I'm going to weigh myself and just see.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Because I'm probably gained a couple pounds. Because
Mhm,
there's no way I've eaten so much food. I've eaten out a couple times. Like,
mhm.
this is crazy. I get on the scale and I was like, huh, I lost a 1.6 pounds this week. And I was like, well, wow, that's crazy. But like up until that, like this part of my life,
Yes.
I would just think that I was eating too much and would just stop eating and not or skip a meal or whatever. And I'm
That should do
finding
it.
that that was not the problem.
Uh-huh.
The problem was I wasn't moving in ways that was beneficial to myself.
Right.
And then I wasn't eating enough, and my body was making me stay that way
Yes.
because I wasn't eating enough. And I
Right.
was like, oh, well, all this time. And I was eating bad. I was eating
Right.
bad things. I was
Right.
drinking 2 liters of Mountain Dew, for goodness
Um,
sakes,
well, yeah,
um, at,
that could
at certain
that could
points.
add some calories.
Yeah. But I mean, the biggest I wasn't even drinking Mountain Dew.
Mm.
That was when I was just eating and living and being stressed out. And
Yeah.
that also
Yes.
is a problem. If you're
Yeah.
stressed out, you're not gonna
It's
lose weight.
right. And it's that downward cycle because as you start getting your spiritual self together, your mental self together, your physical, all those things start getting better, um,
Yes,
like all
and
together.
that's what I'm finding right now,
Hmm.
that I think that the Lord really did lead me into this, and it maybe started many, many years ago,
Yeah.
but, it had started with the quitting of the cigarettes and stuff, and then it went on, and I was trying to, figure out how I'm supposed to eat and how I'm supposed to exercise, and that took a couple years to really understand. And even the other day, I sat down with Danielle and she was like, I'm just trying to, because at first I told her, hey, just make protein. I was like,
Hmm.
that's all that matters. Do 30 to 40 grams, per meal. If you're only going to do 3 meals, just make sure you're hitting like 30 to 40 in there. And she's like, okay. And so your mom gave her pork belly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she was like, I'm going to make this pork belly. And this is what I'm gonna have for my protein, and I said, "Girl."
Lean pork is what you need.
I said,
Lean
"Girl,
proteins.
girl." I said, "Do you understand?" Like, I said, "Really, you can afford calories more so than you think,
Right.
but you can't eat every meal pork belly
Right.
because
It needs to be healthy
it's
still.
like not even enough protein is 500 calories, dude." And she's like, "What?" I was like, I cut out a chicken breast that I cooked in pork belly and I weighed these things and I said, okay, this one's so many ounces. This is a chicken breast. I said, for this amount, and I showed it to her and it was like 6 ounces or
Right.
something. And it was like close to 180 calories.
Hmm.
I was like, 6 ounces. See how big that is?
Yeah.
See what that is? I said, that's like 180 calories. I took it off the scale and put the pork belly on, and I went, okay, that's 6 ounces of pork belly, and that's 500 calories.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
I said, so will you see the difference? And she's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you have
S-
to, and that's not even enough grams of protein for the meal.
Right.
I said, "But if you like the flavor, that's fine.
Mhm.
Do 4 ounces of chicken and 1
Oh,
ounce,
yeah.
and you could have the flavor, and that would help with the chicken breast because it's pretty lean. You still need fats."
Right.
She's like, "Oh, well, I don't even care about the pork roast or the pork
Yeah.
belly." I was just like, "Oh my god."
Well, it's just
But I
education.
showed it to her, and she was like, "Oh, I get it now." I said, "Yeah, I wish somebody would have told me this a
Yeah.
long time ago."
Yes.
Because I didn't
Mhm.
understand it either.
You think I keep going back. That's just like the word of God.
Yeah.
Like we don't know. We think God is an angry God and he's just mad at us all the time. But then when we start reading the word and we find out he
No.
loves us so much.
No, he's where the
Yeah.
joy is,
Yes,
that's what
yes,
they say
yes.
at the end of the thing all the time, and I was like, "He really is where the
Yeah,
joy is."
yeah, yeah. And how much he loves us. And just the more we read it,
Yes.
this makes me excited. The more we read about him and what he wants us to know,
Absolutely.
the better we are.
And I always had faith. I did. I always had faith.
Yeah.
I did it, and I don't want to say I read my Bible because I did at times. There were times I
Yeah,
read the
it's
Bible.
okay. Yeah.
Um, the times I remember being the closest though
Mm,
was when I would study the Bible.
yeah.
And so there's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a
Right.
huge difference between reading and studying.
Right.
And so, like, even church camp was one of the times that I would feel the closest to God.
Hmm.
And we would do Bible studies, and we would go through our scriptures. And my Bible looked crazy because I had all these little sticky
Yeah.
things in there
Yes.
to
Yes. The
like go
tabs.
back and
Mhm.
forth. And
Yes.
yes, the tabs. And I had my notebook and that's when I would feel the closest when I was a teenager. I remember having that and feeling so close to God. And then I would go home and then I would kind of read the Bible on and
Yeah.
off, but not
Taper it off.
really, and taper it off. And then I would, you go into your 20s and then you get busy and
Right.
then you're like, I don't even know where my Bible is located. And
Right.
then you're like, oh, that's where my Bible is,
Yeah.
and now
Mm.
having kids and you're like, I'm just so busy.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you what I figured out is that I'm not so busy.
No.
I have to make it part of my
Routine.
schedule.
Yeah.
Like it's just this is what I do at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
Why is it at 9 o'clock in the morning? Well, I don't have
That's
anything going on at 9
right.
o'clock in
That's
the
what works
morning.
for you.
That's what works. And I listen to it and I can follow along and read and listen at the same time, or I could take a walk and listen to it and come back and look at it again. It doesn't matter as long as I'm trying to pay attention to what it's really happening,
Right.
and
Mm.
trying to really
Mm.
absorb it.
Yes.
Because there were times where I would read it and not be
Right.
absorbing at all.
Or not even know what it means. Like,
Yeah.
what did I
I don't
just
even
read?
understand
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
There was one recently I was reading, and I was like, "What?"
Yes.
And I had to go back. It was Judges. I'm
Oh,
not a big
and
fan of
that's
Judges,
it's
but
challenging. It's challenging. Yeah.
it's hard for me to get through because it's kind of it's gory.
Yes.
And
It is.
so and
Yeah.
it's just like, huh?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
What?
Yes.
But and then everybody's like, Game of Thrones is so good. I'm like, oh well, if
You
you
should
read
read the Bible. I know. That wow.
Like,
Yes.
oh, there's no dragons in there, but there are some
Yeah.
giants.
You can find a dragon.
Oh, yeah, but they're not called it.
Yeah.
It's not really called that.
The Bible.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I have to say, the biggest thing that I've come to realize
Mm.
is that yes, I have faith, and I guess I've always had a version of faith.
You were all born with a measure of faith.
Yeah.
But then we can also grow our faith. Our faith can grow.
Yeah. And I feel like recently mine has been growing.
Yes.
And I'm enjoying it. I'm trying to get your brother to read with me, but
He'll come
it's
along.
challenging. But I'm hoping eventually the more I
will.
talk about it, the more he'll get into it. So,
Mhm.
and that's the other thing. I'm like, am I trying to lead others
Mm.
to understand him and get to know God in a different way?
Isn't that like our purpose, our number one purpose?
That's what it says.
Mhm.
It should be.
Yes.
We're all disciples of the Lord.
Right.
We should shout it on the roof, the mountaintop.
Right. Right. I mean, if you can make it to one.
If I could find a mountain. Not here, but maybe I'm on my choice. So
Right.
back
Go
home
to the mountain and shout
hometown.
it. Yes.
But yeah, so I think that's where that's the next step, I guess, for me, is to try to persuade maybe
Yes.
somebody into coming to read the Bible with me, like your brother.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't mean I have to have like this gigantic platform or
Right.
anything. But I am just trying to spread the joy
Yeah.
and this feeling you get whenever you realize that you are really wrapped in his arms
Oh,
and
man.
he's really there.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes. Mm.
what do you think?
Besides about to cry when I think about how much he loves me and how
Yes.
great he is. Yeah, I, uh, yes, he's so amazing because just like you, the more I get to know him,
Mhm.
the more I'm like, why have I waited so long?
That's where I kind of am at right now. I'm like, why did I wait until I was in my 40s to realize some of this stuff?
Yes.
Why was I not trying to
Hmm.
expand my brain up until now?
Right.
I don't know what just
And,
happened.
and also, I mean, to be real about this, it's
Yeah.
not like I live in this every day. Like I'm not, of course, when I'm thinking about it now, I'm getting really excited. But I have bad days a lot, or not the best days, right?
Yeah.
And where things happen, people are getting on my nerves, whatever. But now the difference is I can look towards his word and I think about things I've read, and it always turns out what I read that morning can apply to what's going on in my day.
That's the other thing. Like I have been, how they put the daily scriptures out.
Yes,
We
yes,
we
yes,
see the same ones, I think.
yes.
And there was a day where I was like, I don't even know if I should do this podcast. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Hmm.
I just don't know what to do. And then scripture came up and it was like spot on. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Mhm. And do you ever have it where not only is the scripture of the day, you're listening to something and
Yes.
someone talks about it, it's
Yep.
like five
That's
times.
what
You're like,
happened that
okay,
day.
God, I get
Yeah.
it.
That happened that day. But that was also the day that I was like, I have to take a break though.
Yeah.
Um, so I will let the listeners know I've been away for the last 3 weeks working on the school musical.
Right.
I did the set design.
Hmm.
I built part of the set, and I also was in charge of the backstage crew as, the adult
Right.
to keep them in line and get them to do what they were supposed to do. I had lovely kids, very great kids. I
Hmm.
had a great time. They all
Yes.
had a great time. They said they're coming back next year. This is the first year we got to have a stage crew.
Oh, okay.
Um, I'm really thankful to them, the teachers, that got me involved in doing it in the
Mhm.
first place. So this is my second year doing it with them, and I had said from last year, I said, "I've learned my lesson, I need a stage crew."
Right.
And so she, with the head teacher, she got them for me, and we had a blast, and I hope that they, carry these experiences on
They will.
to better them in the long run, and, but I got to learn all the all the dumb things that get said.
Oh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
I'm like, "Clock that, clock
Okay, you're up to
that."
date. Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm,
we
mhm,
clock
mhm.
that, and Sigma
Oh, I don't know that one.
or Aura, you got Aura.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
Too many. I
"In
don't
the
know.
world?" I had to learn them all, but I'm not allowed to say them.
Okay. Mm.
It was so much fun. So, and I think God has led me to that. Why in the world am I part of the school musical?
Oh, yeah.
I I know the head teacher, and the head teacher's son is my son's best friend, and
Oh,
that is the
yes.
only way that I've gotten into this. I mean, otherwise, huh?
Right, right. But think of
They don't.
how.
I said, "You guys, what profession do you think I do?"
Mhm.
And they were like,
Oh, you must be
I
like.
don't know, like
Mhm.
construction or something. I was like, "Nah, no, guys, I'm a nurse." They're like,
Yeah.
"No, really?"
But the impact, we talking about purpose,
Yeah.
just the impression and impact you make on the kids. And like the one story you were telling me ahead of time about you just have patience with that person and you could understand, and your life experiences have helped you be able to deal with the kids in a different way.
I will tell you though, I'm not very good with the littler ones. I need to I'm like, "Why you guys put me in this room with these little kids?"
Yes, yes,
I need the teenagers.
yes.
Because you talk to them like an adult, and it's cool.
Is that what's supposed to happen?
Like, the teenagers, if I
Yeah.
talk to them like I would like a coworker,
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool. Like, everything's fine. Everybody does what they're supposed to do. What I basically I said, "I will be here. I'll be the person to count on. I expect you to be here and you be the person to count, right?
Right.
Now, I didn't have to say that in those words. I just showed up and was the person that they knew that they could count on. They knew I was going to be there every day that I said I was going to be there.
Here, I'll turn this over. Isn't that them having faith in you?
They did. But in turn, I gave them faith
You did
as
things.
long as, but if they did something, I did say,
Right.
hey, now, wait a minute. Didn't we say we were going to do that?
Right.
And then they'd be like, oh, yeah, you're right. And they go do it. But I didn't have to say that. No, like maybe one time.
Right. Right. They
Once
could trust you.
I was like, you could trust me and I'm going to trust you and
Right.
we're going to get through this.
Right.
And we did. And they were having kind of a meltdown right before the first show. I figured out how to fix it and I made it happen. And I got them all back together right before the first show. I made them sit down with me, go through everything, and they were happy. They weren't happy, they were so nervous, but
Right.
they were better than they were. And so that's all I was looking for because they were scared. They were scared they were going to miss things. They were scared they were going to not hear when they were supposed to do something. And there was a problem. They didn't have a script to follow.
Okay.
So on one side where I can't talk to them, they had nothing to look at.
Okay. Okay.
So I had to go around and be like, hey, you know your lines. Can I have your script? Hey, you know your lines. Can I have your script? And then I take them and I wrote all the stuff in them so that they had their thing to look at. And so I think that can tie back to this. So how do you know what you're supposed to be doing if you don't read the Bible?
Ooh.
How were they supposed to know what they were doing if they didn't have a script? You know?
Well, when you say didn't have the Bible, or you mean didn't have the Word of God?
The Word of God.
Okay. But it's always been there.
It has. But if you don't look at it,
Yeah.
if you don't read it, if you don't study it like we had to do for this script,
Right.
then you don't know what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
They don't know your cue.
Right.
You don't know
don't
when the
know.
light goes on.
Right.
You know?
Right. Ooh, that's good. That was good right there.
Well, that's how I feel about it, And I think that they would agree with me with the script. They didn't know what they were doing. They were lost in the dark for real.
Okay. So using that analogy,
Yeah.
when something does go wrong, unexpected and out of your control, tell me how do you navigate through finishing the play and how that can go to navigating through life
You
when
have
something
to
bad
forgive yourself.
Oh.
And that's what I told them. I said, you know what? Things always happen because there was like a miscue. It was something went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The remote fell down. They couldn't find it. They needed the remote for the light. So something went wrong and they couldn't do it. And the person was beating themselves up. And I said, listen, things happen. You just have to forgive it and move on. And that's what you did in the show because you didn't miss not one more cue. So you just knew that you could do better and did do better. And that's what you have to do in real life. When things go wrong, you have to figure out how to fix it or figure out how to forgive it and move on.
And look towards him, right? Because
Yeah.
he has it there, like, okay, this is what
Yeah, this is what you need to do. And he's telling us. If you read through those scriptures, if you listen even to the preacher
right.
talk about the scripture and it's always their interpretation. So I like to be the one I like control. And I don't know who else feels the same way, but I like control.
Only the people in this room.
Yeah, me and you both are the same in that. So I want to be the one to read the scripture because I want to interpret it.
Yeah.
But I don't have all the schooling that they do. So I like to listen to what they have to say too.
Right.
But that's not my end all be all. I need to read it too.
Yeah. That's another reason I love the word because we all have those same words, right? I mean, and then we could study the root word of it, but depending on our life experience can help that scripture. We could just take that one scripture and that based on our experiences helps us more.
Yes. I read Job
Mhm.
and I had a hard time,
Yeah.
like, understanding what was
What's the
going
point?
on or
Right.
the point of this. And then I heard somebody on a podcast talking about it and was like, oh, I
Yeah.
wish I would have seen it in that way. Now I
Yes.
need to go back and read it with the other perspective
Yes.
because the reason I was trudging through it and wasn't really, I felt like I wasn't really engaging as well as I could have was my perspective. And
Right.
my perspective needed to change. And it did. And so now I need to go back with this other
Yes.
perspective.
When I read a book on Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, but I read it through through a book by someone that was a shepherd.
Oh, yeah, that would be a cool perspective.
And I'm like, wow, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Or understanding, I listened to one person, they were talking about kingship and kingdoms.
Mhm.
And in America, we don't really deal with kings and
No, we
kingdoms.
don't understand.
But in the other countries,
Yeah.
that have that structure, it's easier for them to understand the kingdom concept and kings and submitting your life and all of that. So when he explained that to us, like, I'm like, oh, I get it. So hearing the word from different people, like someone that studies insects, I don't know what that is. Oh, whatever
I don't know what that means either.
to talk about if they study behaviors of ants.
Yeah.
And then when you read the scripture about ants, now knowing that information, like, wow, that's
That
why
makes
God
sense.
said, yes.
I like history.
Uh-huh.
And so I like to go back and look at like things that are in the Bible that are also in history
Yes.
and compare I don't know.
Find it out.
Something weird. But
Oh,
you will see that it actually holds true.
yes.
You
And
will see
every
that
single
places really do exist. You will see that these people did live. And that's the other thing that's
Yeah.
kind of amazing to me. These are real people.
Right.
These are not a made up character in a book that you read.
Right.
These are real people. Like this really happened in the
Chosen.
what's the shroud? The shroud of the one that Jesus was wrapped in. They found him. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Yeah. Anyways, I was watching a documentary on it. I have to look up what it's really called. The shroud of something. Um, and they cannot replicate. So you can see the person. You can see the face. You can see the injuries. You can see that when
Uh-huh.
you take a picture. Only when you would take a picture could you see that.
Oh,
You can't just see that. You have to take a picture and then it shows up.
I haven't studied that. Okay.
They
Okay.
cannot they said in this
Mhm,
documentary
mhm.
that I'm not part of the documentary. So if it's wrong, let me know. It said that we still cannot replicate that.
Wow. Mm, mm,
So
mm.
you can't tell me that something crazy didn't happen, like a guy got brought back to life. Like
Right.
the touch of God did not happen.
Right.
It is in the fabric
Mhm,
of the shroud.
mm, mm.
How powerful is that?
There's so many things. There's so
There's
many.
so many.
There's
We
so
could
many
go on
things.
for a while. So, and your body is so crazy,
Mm,
and how it had to be something crazy happened for this body to be a real thing. Like a God
there's no
came down
other.
and made
Right.
it because every system works with every system.
Everything.
Everything works with
Mm,
everything.
mm.
If you eat too high of sugar things for
Right.
too long, then your body adapts
Yeah.
because your body was made to adapt. Well, unfortunately for all of us,
Right.
it doesn't adapt in a good way.
Right.
But
Mm,
those are the things that
mm.
you see
It's so
after you start
amazing.
studying those kind of things. You're like,
Right.
what?
Right.
Oh, if this doesn't work, that doesn't work. And
Yeah.
if that doesn't work, that doesn't work. And
Right.
if that doesn't work,
Mm,
even with my gallbladder
mm.
gone, like that actually did have something to do. And I'm sad it's gone because there are repercussions to it.
Mhm.
There are things in the body that's now happening,
Okay.
you know? They're not deathly. They don't hurt you, like, you're not gonna die from it, but
Right.
there's still some consequences to it.
That's what I wonder. Why would God make parts of our body that we could do without? Then why did he even put it in there in the first place? But that might have answered it.
Yeah. Well, we can do without it, but it is not an optimal thing. It's
Okay.
kinda back to that blood work.
Mm,
Yeah, that's an okay level, but if you're having symptoms, then that's not an okay level. That's not an optimal level. That is the
so
word that you need.
everything we have is yeah, okay.
Everything's there and it works good together
And has a
and
purpose.
it has a purpose. Once you take it out, then your body is not at the optimal level anymore,
Mhm.
but it's still
That's good.
working,
That's good. That's good.
you know? It's still working.
Yeah.
You're still alive. You can
Yes.
still live. Just like
Mm,
kidneys. You can live with
right.
dialysis but that's the
Assistance.
consequences. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have to assist you,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But you can live that way for so weird.
Made with an explosion and
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the Big Bang or whatever. So you're telling me there was an explosion and then everything went the way that it was supposed to, and ecosystems work the way that they work,
wow.
and the people's bodies work the way
Mhm.
that they work because
Mm.
somebody had an explosion?
I think this there's the whole earth tells of his glory or something like that.
Yes, they do. The whole earth tells of his glory.
Mm.
The bug, even the mosquito, you
Yes.
know?
I mean, what's the purpose of the word? But I'm sure there is
There's definitely a purpose
for
for
the
it,
ground.
but,
Yeah.
it makes it also makes, the soil so that
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
plants will grow.
But in my life, I can't think of it besides that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But, yeah, like everything does, and the leaves fall off, and they
Mhm.
become fertilizer because they fall off the trees, and
Yeah.
then they feed the trees, and
Yes. And he's teaching us something in all that.
mhm.
Wow. I love you.
And so what do we think faith is? I don't think that you can define it in one sentence unless we
Well,
wanna look up Webster's
I
dictionary.
mean, I think it's Hebrews 1:11. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing. I know that growing up and you growing up, we went to church, we went to Bible studies and all this stuff. Um, my only hope for my kids at this point are that they understand God like I do now.
Mm, yeah.
And I hope that they will see me getting excited and reading my Bible and wanting to learn more and that they want to learn more.
Yeah.
And that's my only hope at this point for the
Keep it in
kids.
prayer. I'm praying for it
Exactly.
too. Our family
I have an
say,
older child that has definitely gone away from
mhm,
God, and I pray every day.
yes,
But
will be saved.
and I believe that. I full-heartedly believe that it'll come back around. Um, it's just gonna take time,
Mhm.
and I got time. I'll wait.
Uh,
God's got all the time, so he'll wait
yeah,
too.
yeah.
But, and
I mean, someone was praying for you.
yes, she was. I knew exactly
Uh-huh.
who she was.
And someone was praying for me,
Yeah.
for all of us. So we in turn have to keep our prayers for those people. And I see it this way. If maybe the people I'm praying for to know Jesus and to have a relationship with him, they may not hear it from me. They may not want to hear what I have to say.
No,
No,
and I don't
but
think you can turn somebody sometimes.
no, but
Just
it might just be they can't hear it from me, right?
yeah,
But there's someone else in the world praying for someone that I come in contact with every day or whatever.
yeah,
And so if I could talk to that person and they give their life to Jesus, I help
yeah.
that one. So I know that in turn someone else is going to talk to the people I'm praying for.
Do you know those movies? Maybe not the butterfly effect exactly,
Mm.
but, those movies that they have a bunch of people that don't make any sense at the beginning of the movie.
Mhm.
Why are we watching
And
these
they're all
people?
connected.
And they're all connected in some
Mhm.
way. I feel like that's what real life really is. I love those movies because I feel like they're really based on a real life thing because I've found these things in my own life like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Mm.
wow, we all kind of knew each other in a way,
Yeah.
but we just didn't know that we knew each
Yeah.
other.
How we're connected.
Or I spoke with so and so's cousin and I told them something and it made them think that they needed to go to church. And because they went to church and got baptized, and now their 3 kids are now in the church, and that one grows up to be a minister. And I did that. Well, I didn't,
I know. Yeah, I know.
but God
Right.
chose me to do that.
Yes.
And that's kind of the coolest thing and the
I
biggest compliment that you could get
I know.
is when God chooses you
Mm.
to do something
And we're obedient and answers.
and we're obedient and answer,
Mm.
which sometimes I think this podcast is the trying thing, and sometimes I don't think it is. Sometimes I love it, and then sometimes I'm just like, I don't even know if I'm talking to anybody other than the people that already know me.
Maybe now, but I don't think it's always going to be like that. I think it's going to expand.
I hope it does. My true hope is that I can not just spread understanding of like struggles as a mom, because I mean that's a big one, but also this. I want people to hear this and understand that I have God in my heart. I want you to learn about him too. Now, at the same time, I don't want to be your preacher
No,
either.
no, no.
I just want you to see that I have this light, this feeling, this
No.
this love, and I want you to see that that's
Mm.
happening through God.
And how he changed your life.
He has totally changed my life numerous times. I mean, I only told you about 3, but I mean, there's been other times that I was a lamb that got off the path and this shepherd had to
Oh,
get me
yeah.
back on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not perfect. And a lot of people out there might, even people that knew me back when I was really not living
Yeah.
in a godly way, would hear me now and would
Right.
think, oh my gosh, she's a fake. I am not a fake.
No, but
Um,
just saved by grace.
but I was saved.
Mm.
And so that's why I am who I am now. And those experiences back then did change me. And I don't want to go back there,
Right.
just like you don't want to go
Right.
back there. Those
Right.
were very dark times. I remember being at work and walking outside just crying because I was so lonely. And I think it was my birthday or something too. I think it was like, and it was something like that. And like nobody cared.
Right. You didn't think anybody.
Well, I did think anybody cared, but I mean, my mother cared, but
Right.
I was far away from her. So there was nobody there to care. Like, there was nobody there to throw me a party or take me out or
Yeah.
make me feel loved on my birthday or whatever. And I remember thinking how horrible, but God was really there.
Yes.
He saw me
Yeah.
being lonely,
Mhm.
and things changed.
Yeah.
And when I see my kids struggling through a tough time, you want to tell them,
Oh,
this too shall pass.
yes.
Because that is nothing has been truer to be said. This is only in the moment.
Right.
And they get down to the point where they want to
Mhm.
hurt themselves or do
Yeah.
something. And
Yeah.
you're like, but you don't understand.
Right.
This is just like a blip on the radar that you're
Yes.
going to learn from.
Yes.
This is something you'll learn from. You'll be better in the end.
Yes.
But you say that to them and it's like, whatever.
Yeah. In a moment, you could say it to me in a moment. I'm like, whatever.
No, now I won't be whatever. I'll say,
Uh-huh.
I know, but let me be mad right now.
Right. Let me go through it. Let me solve.
Let me go through this, okay? And I'm like, yeah, go through it, but I need you to promise me that you'll never get low enough
Right.
that you're
Right.
gonna hurt yourself
Yeah. That's the
because
enemy.
that's the devil.
Yep.
That's the devil on your shoulder.
He's trying to take you out before you fulfill your purpose.
Exactly. And God is there. He is there. And I had to go back to Job and look at it in
Mm.
that way. And that was the perspective that I was not seeing.
But do you listen whatever, read Job and like, wow, I don't have it that bad.
Exactly. I was like, I don't think the boils on that face. All
Right,
my
right.
family didn't get killed in some accident.
Right. Right.
Man.
Right. That's what I think.
But that's a perspective that I would not have had. I
Mhm.
would not have understood had I not sat down and read it.
Right.
Well, listened and read it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Same
Whatever.
thing. Same thing.
But that's
Well, not the same thing,
it's
but
not.
do something.
You have to at least like I don't care if you listen to it.
Yeah.
Like that's how I
Get
like
going.
to get my books anyways,
Mm.
because I don't have time to sit in a chair with a book, but I do have time to take a walk with the dog and listen to some
Right.
scripture.
Right. Get it in.
So that's how it gets in, you know?
Yes.
Or if I'm at work, I can put it on
Mhm.
one headphone because I can have both on, but I can put one headphone on at work and do my job and listen,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's fine.
That's good to get that word in all the time. And then when you have some time, that's where you get your study in.
Yes.
That difference you talked about earlier.
Yes, you still have to sit down, and like I said, I still have to sit down and look at it in different ways, and sometimes I learn from a podcast,
Hmm.
and sometimes I learn from reading history
Right.
or, look into it even further, but there's so many things you can do now. The internet is at our fingers.
Yes.
You can
Which
look up
is
anything.
awesome.
Yeah,
Which is
it
awesome.
just use it right.
Right. It's
Try
awesome.
try to use it correctly, and then you'll be fine.
Well,
And I
yeah.
do like AI. I'm sorry, I
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I like
I'm
AI.
all for it. I mean,
Um,
it's not going to be I think this is where
I like it
the
for
issue comes.
research.
Yeah, but it's not gonna give me spiritual advice.
No,
No, that's just wrong.
no.
But yes, I am going to use it as a tool. Definitely. The question is, how do you have faith? How do you have faith when a tragedy happens? So you've been praying for something and then it did not work out the way your prayer
Oh, I remember what I
didn't
was
seem
gonna
to
say.
be answered.
Okay, so right before Gabe was diagnosed with cancer, I had, went to my friend's house that's not too far away from here that we were friends in high school. Um, we had a friend in common that lives in Pittsburgh, and she was here visiting. And so I went out and I was talking to them, and she had told me about her husband having cancer, and she told a little bit about it. And, I thought, "I hope that nobody in my family ever gets cancer." And I said a prayer in my head right now. I was like, "Lord, just never let anybody in my family ever have cancer. Like, this sounds awful. Please don't let that happen." 1 week later, Gabriel's tumor was found in his,
Mm.
intestines. And so I was like, "God, I ask you to not do this.
Mhm, mhm.
What in the world?"
Right, right.
And it took me a little bit of time to get myself together because I was mad. I was mad I said that prayer and it wasn't answered.
Yeah,
And
right,
it was immediately like the other thing happened.
right.
And so it took me like, I don't know how long. It took me like a week or 2 to like get myself together and not be mad anymore. So I was like, "Okay." And my mom didn't know that I was mad. Like,
Mhm,
I didn't say it out loud like I was mad.
mhm.
I just was. And, mom just through mom and watching her, and she's like, "This is fine. This is we found it before anything bad happened. Like, Melissa, you got him to the emergency room when you needed to. The right people were there." Because I took him to urgent care first, and she was like, "I can't diagnose him, so I need you to take him to ER. We don't have everything." I said, "Okay, cool." Went down there, and I thought they were really gonna just send us home and be like, "Oh, he's fine, no big deal. He's constipated," something.
Mhm.
No, that was not the case. Even when they told me they were doing the surgery, we, of course, didn't know that it was
Mm.
cancer.
Right.
And I thought that they were gonna wait until the morning, and they were like, "No, we're doing that right now."
Yeah.
And it was an immediate thing, it was an emergency thing, and I was just like, "This is crazy," and he got his appendix out and the tumor because they were right next to each other.
Right.
So they took it to pathology, and this is how God works. And God said, "We're gonna figure this out faster than what they say," because it was a holiday weekend, they weren't supposed to do it, they weren't supposed to do the pathology until they came back from vacation or whatever, and the pathologist stayed late and did it. And so they stayed past their time, they didn't have to be there. They did all the things that they had to do, and I got the results back within a couple of days.
Mm.
I knew I knew on the 3rd because the 3rd is my best friend's birthday, and I didn't call and tell her because I didn't wanna ruin her birthday.
Yeah.
Um, so I found out on the 3rd, we were there on the 1st. The 1st was when we went into the emergency room. The 1st is when we had the emergency, surgery, and then the 3rd, we found out it was cancer. We weren't supposed to know anything until 4 more days after that or
Okay.
something.
Okay.
So, when I got to sit down and think about it and prayed and thought and prayed and thought, I was like, "Oh, I didn't want this to happen, but God made it so
Mm.
that it had already happened when I prayed that prayer.
Mhm.
That he already had cancer when I had that prayer,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he made me find it before it got bad.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So he got me through that tragedy
Yes. Yes.
because I had to really come to know him and trust because I did not trust right away. And I don't know if that's just a human thing,
Yeah.
but I didn't trust right away. But then I did, and I had a great doctor. I had great nurses. My kid hates taking pills. I had the best nurses. They got him to take all of his medicine. My mom and I also we took that off them most of the time, but we had a specific nurse that really, really helped us a lot when he wouldn't take his pills. But,
Mm.
he tells us now that the common cold is worse than cancer.
Mm.
He tells me that every time he gets sick. He goes, "This is worse than cancer."
Wow.
So, that just goes to show you what we had. Like, God got us everything that we needed when we needed it, and so now he thinks that a cold is worse than cancer.
Right. And that is uh, like that perseverance that we get when we go through things, even if they don't work out the way we want. I think we get like another notch. Our scars are our way of saying, you know what, devil? You tried to take me out with this. I survived. Thank you, God. So what can you like I get to a point I've gotten to a point where there's been so many bad things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like my life is bad every day, but there's so many battles that I can look back and see how God brought me through it. And now I'm like, oh, what you got
Yeah.
to the enemy? What do you have?
Mhm.
Because now it doesn't matter what happens, and I'm serious. It does not matter what happens now in my life. I have a relationship with Jesus. I know him so much. I trust him that I know it will be okay, and I can make it through this because he said in this word, he won't give us anything that we can't handle and that he won't equip us for.
Yeah. And but in the moment
It's
in
terrible.
the moment, you have to give yourself a minute
Oh, yeah.
to get a grip.
Donita's not going through things smiling.
No,
I'm
no.
fighting it, but it's a different way of going through the hardships.
Yes. But that's the thing. I see people that go through some things and they are just like, this is never gonna be the same. Everything's gonna be awful. No, it's not gonna be the same. You're right. But it's not gonna be awful.
Mhm. It won't
When
always
you
be.
get to the other side, the rainbow will be there, the sun will be shining, the birds will be chirping, but you won't realize that you went through it. Like, it's so weird that you don't realize that the rainbow is there and the sun is shining, the birds are chirping. You just don't. You did it just happened. You did it. And somebody was like, how do you what it was Jenny or somebody. I don't know how you get up and do the things that you do. And I said, "You just do them.
Mhm.
You just do them."
Yeah.
"What do you mean?" I said, you just do you just say, "Okay." You have to decide. Am I gonna lay in bed and feel bad about it? Am I gonna lay in bed and just feel sorry about it? Am I gonna lay in bed and just be tired? Or am I gonna get through this? I'm gonna get through this because I have faith that I will get to the other side. So what needs done? The laundry needs done, the floor needs swept, the kids need fed, the the dog needs walked.
Right.
But, you know, and so I get up because all these people need me to do the thing so that
Yeah.
life moves on.
Right.
Like it goes on.
Yes. Yes.
And you're just like, "Oh, okay. Well, I did that. I did the thing.
Yes.
I didn't know I could do the thing.
No.
I didn't know I was strong enough to do that thing, but God got me there.
Right.
God carried me just like in the footprints
Mhm.
where he said, "God, where were you?"
Right.
And he said, "Well, I was carrying you."
Mm.
And
Mm.
that's you're strong enough because God's strong enough.
Right.
You'll do the thing.
He lives in us. Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay.
I hope that's hopeful for people. And it's hard to hear that
It is.
when
It's
you're
really
going through
hard
it.
whenever you're going through it. It just doesn't make any sense when you're going through it.
Right.
And but I have to tell you, I have become more of a person that is thinking everything happens for a reason. This has all been written
Mhm.
already. God
Choices made.
knows what's going to
Oh yeah.
happen. He knows that you're going to, he knows you're, if you're a drug addict, he knows you're going to slip up.
Mhm.
The question is you still have the free will, you know, he still has given us free will. We can make those choices, but he'll put something or somebody in your way and you'll either choose the drugs or you'll choose to go
Not choose them. Not
not
choose them.
choose,
Right.
not choose drugs.
It's your choice.
It's your choice. And your choice will then be a struggle every single day
Mm.
until one day you are at the end of the tunnel and the light and the sunshine is out and the rainbows are there and the birds are chirping and you're like, "Oh wow, I did that 15 years. I did that for 15 whole years." You know, or um like
Even other like
yeah, even
not
other
so
things.
heavy things
No,
like
no. Like,
you
you know.
your week is bad and you're like, oh, this is terrible. Such and such
Yeah.
said this about me or something. And then the next thing happens and I look back and say,
I don't
what
even
was my
remember.
problem?
Yeah, I don't even remember what such and what?
Yeah.
What was happening?
Yeah.
I don't
What was the
remember.
problem?
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Like, I'd maybe one of the, kids here was, like, not doing their chores and acting rude, and I'm like, "What do you think you're doing?" And in that moment, I'm like, "I can't believe that they're acting like this, and then this is ridiculous," and I'm just really upset about it and upset at them, and
Mm.
then the next day, they're like, "Mom, I love you. Mom, what can I do for you?" And you're like, "Oh, wait,
Yeah. What was I mad? I was
why
mad.
was I mad at them?" Or sometimes I get mad and I realize I don't need to be mad. The problem wasn't something that they could help. The
Okay.
the reason why I'm mad, whatever I'm mad about, there was no way of not having that happen.
Right.
So why am I mad?
Uh-huh.
What am I mad about?
Right.
Because nobody could have prevented it.
Yeah.
It's just something that happened.
Yeah, this that the situation happened and oh, why did it have to happen? But sometimes there isn't a person to blame, just something happened.
Exactly. But I always think now there's something at the end of this. I will get through this. I'll
Yeah.
survive it.
Yeah.
Everybody will survive it. We'll be fine in the end, you know? Like, I just have to push through the bad and I will get to the good and it'll be fine.
Mhm.
I don't even remember half the stuff that has
Right.
happened.
As we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with
With me.
me.
Mhm. And it's the truth.
Mhm.
But you don't understand it until something crazy happens to you. And it doesn't have to be you're addicted to drugs. That's like an
Yes.
extreme thing.
Right.
But there are other things like
Well, even for young people, younger people, whatever, someone saying they don't like you.
yeah.
Um,
And I tried to explain like Gabe has a lot of problems with bullies
yeah.
because he's a rule follower, okay? You can't not follow the rules. Like he's not okay with that. He's very uncomfortable about it. He doesn't like cussing.
Mhm.
He doesn't like it
Mhm.
as you should be,
Mhm.
you know. But if a kid and his he has kids in his class that are not they're very much the opposite, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
And it just upsets him.
Yes.
And then he comes home and he's like, "They were so mean to me. I told the teacher." And I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna have to back off on telling the teacher everything, okay?"
Give them some other tools.
Yeah,
Yes.
we need some new tools, okay? But you also and he's like, "Well, blah, blah, blah won't let me be friends with blah, blah, blah."
Mhm.
He says that da, 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 and I'm like, "No, I hate this part. I hate this part.
Yeah.
Hate this part of kids." That's 5th and 6th grade. It's like that 4th, 5th, 6th
Yeah.
graders. It
Seems like
just
it's always. Mhm.
and, you can't be friends with so and so, and you can't be
Right.
friends if you're friends with me, you're not friends with them, and
Right.
or I'm not gonna invite you to my birthday party. Oh,
Right.
excuse me? Okay. And I'm trying to get him to understand, the more it bothers him, the more they'll do it.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
I said, "They found your sore spot, dude.
Yeah.
They know that if they keep on acting like that to you, it's still gonna bother you." I said, "You gotta act like it don't bother you."
Mhm.
And be like, "Okay, don't be my friend. I don't care."
How can that relate to how could he use this is really a question. How could he use his relationship with Jesus to help in the situation a 10-year-old getting bullied?
I don't know. You answer that one. I mean, he has to have faith that God will eventually give him somebody and that can be his lifelong friend, you know?
Yeah.
And he will eventually get that. It's just this grade. It doesn't matter. And if you are that person that wants to follow the rules and be the one that doesn't, the goody goody, you know, that's the person that they don't want to be friends with
Right.
because you're the snitch and you're like, well, I'm not
Well,
really the snitch. If
it's
we're all good, I don't have to snitch.
they're jealous because they see that they don't want others to be happy. And I always say hurt people.
I agree
Right.
with that.
So something's going on and they see that you're doing well.
Yeah,
Misery loves company, right?
exactly. And he is. He's super smart.
Yeah.
He knows, he does well in math. He's doing good in science. I mean, he does good in most of it. He don't have a problem. He does his homework without any help or
Right.
anything. He's
Mhm.
good at that stuff. So I'm sure that's one thing that they're jealous about because
Right.
he's smart.
Right.
And then
Or they could be unhappy with themselves and this is not just kids.
no,
This is
this is adults
everybody.
too, because
Right.
I've worked in an office where they're like, "I don't like her." And you're like,
Right.
"Well, what don't you like about her?" And they're like, "I don't know, I just don't like her."
Right. Come on.
Okay, let's grow up.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
First off, she would have had to do something to you for you to not like her. Okay.
And
Or
why are you so
maybe,
offended? Like,
yeah, like she just said hello and you were like, "Ugh, excuse you."
wait, do you work where I work?
I have worked at places like you work. But no, you think, I'm telling you, there's a lot of women in nursing
Oh,
and
yeah.
we need to we need to build each other up, but that is not what happens.
Right.
And in my era of nursing came in, we had the older nurses, and they said that, the older nurses eat the younger nurses
Oh,
because of how they would put you through it. So, like, even giving a report to one of these nurses on night shift whenever I was, like, reporting
mhm,
off my 2nd shift to 3rd shift, she was one of the older nurses, and she would she'd put me through it. But she made me a better nurse,
okay.
um, because I would be like, "So and so in room 202 had a low blood sugar today. She had to have glucagon given at 2 p.m. and her blood sugar was at 59. She was unresponsive. I gave IM glucagon, and then she'd
Um,
be like, "Well, what was her blood sugar at 4?" And I'd be like, did I do
yeah,
did I get a follow-up blood sugar?" And I'd be like, "I didn't get a follow-up blood sugar till 8, and it was, 120." And she'd be like, "Well, next time you need to follow up
mm,
for that." And you're
yeah,
like, "Yeah, you're right, I did. I should have. I totally should have. I should got you some vital signs too right
wow.
after." And, like, she made me better.
Right, but it was the
But it was
difference
like,
how she did it.
oh, yeah, she was mean how she did it, and she'd be it'd be like wheelchair washing night, and she'd be like, "Did you get all the wheelchairs out in the hallway?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am, I did." But that was like she did that immediately, like, I
Yeah,
didn't know anything, I was just a baby nurse. I knew what they taught me in school, you know what I mean? And
mhm,
she did make me a better nurse, and I was more confident
yeah,
than most people were because of her,
yeah,
because I didn't miss things because I was like, "If she comes in after me and I have missed something, she would make me go and do whatever I missed,
right,
and
right,
she would do it with me."
yeah,
And so she wasn't as horrible as some of them were, because some of them weren't like that.
yes, the
Some of them just told you were stupid
well,
and
that's
then
not
moved on. That was
productive at
not
all,
helpful at all.
right,
But she was mean, but she was teaching me.
yes, 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 and that's important, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the important part, yes,
Yeah, it is. But like I said, there were some that were just mean.
and you didn't hold a grudge or get resentful.
No, I didn't.
Even though the delivery was could have been better, you still learn from that,
I did.
and some people are not able to get past that.
Well, I always said mean people love me.
Mhm.
And it's because I don't let the mean people get me down.
Mm,
I'm
okay.
always I don't get mean back. I just am receptive and listen to see what they say, because if you give them no reason to continue to be mad at you or mean to you, then they can't be anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and even when I worked at a restaurant, I had some lady, older lady, that she was very mean to everybody. She was so mean to everybody. And I was the only person she was nice to. And they were like, "Why is she nice to you?" And I was like, because I do my job, I think."
Well, I mean, there's some people you could do your job and be
Well, because they always gave her some snotty remark or rolled their eyes or whatever, like, "Okay, I'll do it."
mm, you were
That
still
kinda,
kind.
and I would just be like, "Oh, you need me to
Mhm,
do that? No problem. Just ask."
mhm.
Instead of her, because she was being mean, I would just turn it around and be like, "If you need something, just ask."
Yeah,
You know?
what's better than Kelly? But you flooded her with
I
kindness.
did.
Yes.
And I think that's the best thing that you can do for mean people. They're mean, I'm sure, for a reason, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, they're
Um,
happy.
but if you can be the sunshine in their doom and gloom for 5 minutes, that gives them long enough to like you. I'm
If
just like,
you
"Okay."
want them to like you, or at least to be
I just want it
tolerable.
to be tolerable,
Right.
But I found that the more kind you are and and not take offense to their harshness, the better life would get, because they were nice to me and not nice to them.
Mhm.
They were handing out assignments and I got the good assignment and they got the crappy one. They
Yeah,
got to clean the
yeah,
toilets while I'm, wiping down walls or something. I'm like, good
right.
luck.
And to know that difference between getting like being kind to someone, but not letting them hurt you or run over you.
Oh, yeah.
That where you don't cross the line into bullying.
Yeah, you can't do that, but they do. I mean, the mean ones sometimes do. But most of the mean people I'm talking about were just gruff.
Mm,
They're just everything is gruff,
right.
and they're just they just got pointy edges, you know? And they're not mean in a way that would be, like, reflective of you, like, they didn't even take time to know those people.
Right.
They were just mean. They were just like, "Didn't I tell you to do that already?"
Oh yeah.
"No, you didn't, but I can do it,
Right.
no
Right.
problem." The other ones would be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I don't know if you told me," and I'd just be like, not that I know of, but
Mhm.
I maybe I didn't hear you.
Right.
Maybe you did tell me and I just
Mhm.
didn't hear you.
Right.
I'll do it now. Is that okay?" And they'd be like, "Yeah."
You take away their empathy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they really wanted somebody to fight with or they wouldn't act like that.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah. They
Mm,
just looking for a fight. And you're
mm.
like, I'm not gonna do that. That's a lot
Right.
of energy.
Right.
Way more than I have.
I like that about you, your patience. You keep saying you don't have a lot, but you have a lot.
I have a lot of patience for some things. There are there are a few things that I just instantly I can feel the blood pressure in my head go up. And I'll be like I hate when people litter. Okay.
Oh, me too.
And these last 3 weeks, the little kids will throw things on the floor, and they expect everybody else to clean up after them, and now that one is not cool with me,
Mhm.
and so that's a learned behavior. I wanna, like, send a note home, and be like, "Why's your kid throw trash on the floor and not pick up after themselves?" Like, I kinda wanna say but you can't do that, that's not nice. Most are fine, but there's a few that you're like, "Yeah, I don't even wanna know what your house looks like 'cause, ooh,
Yeah.
what are you doing?" And
Okay.
that's adults too.
I know.
I've seen adult people at an office walk by to throw something in the trash can, see that it did not make it in said trash can, look down at it, and then walk
Go on.
off.
Keep going.
Oh, is it below you to bend down and pick up your own trash
Your
and
own
put
trash.
into the trash can, sir?
Okay.
Like that's I don't have no patience for that.
I saw we were all at a stop light driving our cars. She opened her car door, threw out like a armful of trash, and then drove off.
Like you can't do that at the gas station when you're pumping your
Exactly.
gas.
Exactly.
Just gather it. Okay, cool. Gather it up. And when you go to the gas station, there's trash cans right beside them.
Exactly.
Throw it in.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, see, that
Yeah.
is one that I don't have any patience for you. And I will yell at you. I will. I have an issue. But I'm like, one day somebody's going to shoot me because I'm like, what are you doing, you little piggy, putting that out there? And I was like, oh, God, I need some grace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're like, what happened?
So I have patience. I just don't always have patience.
Maybe we all have patience just in certain areas.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that one's one of and my kids will do it in front of me and they don't do it in front of me
No.
anymore.
No.
'Cause
No.
I that is it's like somebody flicks a switch.
Yeah.
I think it's the respect in it. I don't feel like you have respect for others because you're leaving your mess for somebody else to clean up.
Right. Right.
Whether it be out your
Or
car,
mhm.
in your house, or out in public.
Right.
Pick up your own trash
That's
and
all.
throw it away. Like, and if I hear one more person say, "Oh, just giving somebody a job." "Oh, excuse me."
Mm,
Yeah, they say, "Oh, I'm just making sure the janitor has something to do."
really?
I'm sure that the janitor has plenty to do other than picking up your trash off the floor and
Yeah.
putting it in the trash can. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Oh,
Oh,
just
man.
making sure that the people that have to do community service has something to pick up.
There's enough already.
There's enough. You don't I mean, it blows out of people's trash cans and goes places.
Mhm.
You don't need to add to that.
Mhm. Mm.
And I think it looks disgusting. There's places around here where I wanna get out and pick out the trash.
Right, and it's that even respect for your surroundings. Yeah, like, don't you want your neighborhood to look good?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe not. All right. Well, I think we've gone through everything.
That brings us back to faith because
Yeah, no. But I mean, that brings me back to learning to give people grace. Maybe they had to throw the trash out for some reason that I don't
no,
understand.
no, no, no,
Maybe
no,
maybe they
no. I'm with you on
you're see, that's the one that I just can't really rationalize. You can be mean to me. You know what I mean? Because maybe there's something in your life that's happening and you can't deal with it and that's why you're being mean to me. I can get through that. Like I can rationalize that right away.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But
easy to
but
forgive
you
too.
being so lazy that you drop the trash out your car instead of just doing it at the gas station, we all have to have gas, okay?
Right.
Everybody pumps gas. Do it then.
When you get out the car.
Yeah, you have to get out to pump the gas. So why don't you just get out and throw away the trash? Gas, trash, it even matches, you know? All right.
Okay. We found something we both like. Oh, okay.
That one's the one.
Uh-huh.
That's the one.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's why the kids don't throw their stuff down no more. They won't put their dishes in the dishwasher, but they'll,
There's
you
no
know,
trash on the floor.
there's no trash on the floor. I used to be a problem, you know? I'm like, I
I
don't,
do.
and I'm like, and I don't know where you even learned that disrespectful behavior from
know.
because there ain't nobody I know that does it.
Nobody.
I think that alone was enough for them.
Mhm.
But yes, let's go back to faith real quick. I so let's recap a little bit.
Okay.
So faith is kind of like trust.
Yeah,
Um, it's hard to have faith in hard times.
it is.
It is. But God is always there.
It's hard to go through the action of faith in hard times. I
Yes.
think we have it. It's just taking those steps to like follow through and
Yes.
do the action with it.
Yes. Once you have it, it's a beautiful feeling.
Yes, yes, yes.
It can strengthen the more you
Yes,
get to know God.
yes,
And you get to know God by reading his word or listening to his word.
yes.
Um,
Praying,
praying,
which is
which
communicating
is
with him.
communicating with God.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me. What else am I missing?
Read the word and pray. Yeah.
I mean, that's the main thing
Yeah.
with faith.
I mean,
Read
with
the
any
word and pray.
relationship, right?
Um, it does change you,
Yes.
and you are not prepared
Hmm.
until it happens. So I hope, if anything, somebody got something out of this little
Yes, I
podcast
did.
today.
I did.
I think I did too.
Uh-huh.
And we both know that we have the same pet peeve.
Yes.
So you are exactly where you need to be. Keep growing, keep learning, and keep being you. This is Generation She signing off. Thanks for coming.